My other one timed out. I don't know what happened to my meeting thing. It just dropped on me. So this is going to be 2 parts, yo. Not a bad thing. Whatever. It is what it is. And I can't edit, and I'm not going through all this shit again. So hopefully nothing much got cut off. But yeah, here we go. We're going to start this back up. And yeah. Part 2 of her cross-examination and her non-Grammy performance, Grammy winning performance. I mean, I don't know if this woman could win a trophy from a local arts theater, for the worst performance in a small town. I don't know. It's horrible. Okay. It's horrible. There's so many times, there's so much, if you know this case, been following it this whole time, then you will know that like you can poke holes in this woman's testimony every day, all day. The stuff she has said before versus now, kind of like that's why everybody's got that feeling of she's full of shit, because you can tell she's full of shit. It is what it is. Man, they sidebarring a long time.
And Rocky Pennington?
Here we go.
Refresh your recollection that you did in fact send this picture to your friend Rocky Pennington?
Yes, I did.
Oh, now she knows.
And you sent it to her on August 7th, 2014 at 11:24 p.m., correct?
That is correct.
So you sent Miss Pennington this picture of Mr. Depp with ice cream spilled on him, right?
That is correct.
And you wrote, quote, "This is what I've been dealing with," end quote. Did I read that right?
You did read that right. That's correct.
And this is you protecting Mr. Depp?
That is me getting support from my best friend.
This is you supporting Mr. Depp?
This is me getting support from my best friend. I also need support.
You weren't afraid the monster would get upset that you took this picture?
This was...
See, now this is how she's about to try and spin this. Okay, what she asked there was a very poignant question. If you've listened to all of Amber Heard's testimony, she has made it out to be like Johnny Depp is this two persons, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He has something called a monster, right? That he gets angry and violent and da-da-da-da-da. And so what this attorney has done is like, you weren't scared of how he would react knowing that you're sending these embarrassing pictures of himself to, people, by the way, that he's rolled the red carpet out for and let this woman live in one of his penthouses. It's the same chick that makes beads and sells at a flea market is living in a $2 million damn penthouse. So we're gonna get started there. But so she's like, wait a minute, you're not scared of this horrible, abusive asshole when he figures out what you've done here?
Monster would get upset that you took this picture?
This was Opiate Johnny. This is different.
See what she does there? Well, this is Opiate Johnny. That's not what she asked, okay? Listening to her side. There's if she's going to try and use this now, remember, now we're changing shit up again. Opiate Johnny will turn into the monster though, right? And the monster, when the monster comes around and he remembers that you've shared these embarrassing photos, what's going to happen to you there? Remember, she's scared to death.
Version of him. This is Opiate on the nod Johnny.
And you weren't afraid that Opiate Johnny, or the monster as you called him, would get upset that you sent this picture to your friend?
Well, he's all of those things. Of course he could get upset. Of course that's scary to me, of course. But
didn't stop you from sending this picture to your friend, did it?
Why would it?
Oh my God. The fact that she said that. Understand that her entire testimony has been that she is so scared of this guy that she was even scared to wear certain types of clothes, be in certain movies, say certain lines. And now she's just asked her, were you not scared when you sent this photo? And she's like, well, why would it? What do you mean, why would it? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mr. Depp's right hand is in his pocket, right, Miss Heard? In this
yes,
picture?
That's correct.
You also showed this jury pictures of cocaine. Do you recall that?
Yes, that's correct.
please take a look at one of those. If we could please pull up Defendants Exhibit 167A, which is already in evidence. Directing your attention, Ms. Heard, to the photograph.
So, yeah, and I'm gonna highlight something here that's, they point out, well, I'll wait till she gets to it.
This is a photograph you
That's the
took
report I really
in
heard.
March of 2013, right?
That is correct.
And this was taken at your apartment in Orange?
I might have to go back and highlight it to point out what I'm gonna say, but
Yes.
she asked some good poignant
And this
questions
is your
here.
breakfast table?
That is correct.
Remember this cigarette that is completely intact, in a clean ass ashtray?
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp left this breakfast table just the way you took it.
That is correct.
So this is what the table looked like after Mr. Depp had been doing cocaine?
Well, clearly he has yet to snort these lines.
There are 4 lines of cocaine on this table, right, Ms. Heard?
In this picture, I see 4 lines.
There isn't any cocaine residue around those lines, right?
Not that I can tell, no.
Doesn't really look like anyone's been doing cocaine off that table, does it?
With all due respect, I'm not sure you know how that works.
I'm asking if you do. You've testified you've done cocaine.
I have.
Doesn't really look like Mr. Depp or anyone was doing cocaine off that table, does it?
I beg to differ with you on that. When you snort cocaine, typically it goes into your nose.
And there's
Doesn't stay on the
residue.
table.
There's residue from that cocaine when your lips and nose touch the table, right?
Well, the tampon applicator next to the driver's license that you see is a device that I believe my sister had taught him.
I'm going to point out something to you because I don't know if they're going to show this video. Okay, people have done a deep dive. Somebody has like freaking. Let me tell you something. Okay, there's people at NSA apparently that are Johnny Depp fans because they have done, or the people on the Chans. I should say that I've seen the Chans find that flag thing. If you've never seen that video, I've shared that. It was freaking amazing. They've blown up this driver's license. Looks like her signature's on it. Because I'm going to point out some stuff for you right here. This is why people said this, like her lawyer is going to take the route that this looks staged. Because again, you have to remember, here's this bag perfectly placed. Here's this CD perfectly placed. It just happens to be laying on top to show who, like to the where he's supposed to be going that day to the band. Then you have these perfectly laid out lines. You have his box, the property of JD, perfectly placed over here. You got this and you got this full, but I'm going to show you something else. Here's tobacco in this green bag. Here's another cell phone way over here. There's a cell phone over here, tobacco right here, a cigarette and an ashtray right here. So look, who do you think was sitting in this chair with the newspaper, the tobacco, the cell phone, the cigarettes over here? And who is this seat for? Because all of his shit looks like it's over here on this side. See what I'm saying? And by the way, you don't think shit looked like it been shoved away for this picture? Look at this thing of flowers in the water. That's way over here on this side of the table. That's not typically where the flowers sit. It's almost like they were moved to make sure you could get everything in the picture.
To use in order to put the cocaine in your nose.
Mr. Depp is a pretty heavy smoker, right?
He is.
And that's a cigarette in the ashtray in the back there? Back right?
Yes, it looks like one of his hand rolls.
There's no other cigarettes in that ashtray, are there?
I see one cigarette.
The one that's not smoked.
That's correct.
There's no ash in that ashtray either, is there?
Not that I can tell in this picture.
It's pretty clean.
In this picture, it looks like it, yes.
It's a pretty neat table. Wouldn't you agree?
Depends on what you would call neat, I suppose.
And you sent this picture to your friend, Rocky Pennington, as well, didn't you?
I sure did.
And when you sent it, you said, quote, "Look at my morning," or something like that. Is that right?
Yay for mornings.
So you have a habit of sending staged photographs to your friend Rocky, don't you?
I had a habit of communicating with my best friend about what was going on in my life.
You don't have any pictures of Mr. Depp actually consuming cocaine, do you?
I don't think I have a picture of him mid-snort. No.
You don't even have any pictures of Mr. Depp with cocaine.
What do you mean by that?
Holding cocaine, standing next to cocaine, sitting next to cocaine.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you haven't shown any of those pictures like that to the jury, have you?
I don't know. No, I haven't.
And you were never able to catch Mr. Depp with cocaine on film either, were you?
I never tried.
But you were able to catch him sleeping, right?
I have seen him pass out in all sorts of places, yes.
And you also captured a video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen that was played again for this jury today, beating up some cabinets. Do you recall that?
Sorry, say that again?
You recall capturing Mr. Depp in the kitchen of one of his homes, beating up some cabinets?
Yes. Slamming things around, yes.
So you took that video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen, right?
I did. I did.
And you took it on one of your iPad devices?
I took it on my iPad.
You were deposed in August of 2016 in connection with your divorce proceedings for Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And you will recall that the video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen was released online the day before your deposition in August of 2016, don't you?
Now, understand this. Okay, think about the op-ed. It was published right before the release of Aquaman. Now, this TMZ video, remember, she's the one that recorded the video, and somehow now it's the property of TMZ, but she doesn't know how they got it. And then listen to the time again.
Mr. Depp, right?
That is, I took it on my iPad.
You were deposed in August of 2016 in connection with your divorce proceedings for Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And you will recall that the video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen was released online the day before your deposition in August of 2016, don't you?
That's correct.
You're the one who...
Somehow they managed to get the video that she's the one that captured, she's the one that took, she's the one that had it on her device, and they got it the day before she went in for her deposition, just like the op-ed was written like right before the release of her movie. Like, are we seeing, remember Johnny Depp's, what he has said repeatedly, like to other people, even to his doctor, about how she's so damn ambitious that, you know what I mean, that's all she cares about. It basically is her career. What he wrote on that lamp when all the finger stuff happened was like, be careful on your way to the top. Like, you know, to all talk about all she cares about is what her celebrity and how famous she can get, basically.
Release that video.
Incorrect.
Isn't that true?
That's incorrect. I flew in from another place at the time. I remember learning about it when I landed.
Yeah, sure.
So it's just a coincidence that the video you took of Mr. Depp was released the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp.
I absolutely had nothing to do with that. I wouldn't even know how to do something like that.
You settled your divorce from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
That sounds right.
And in connection with that settlement, you received $7 million from Mr. Depp, true?
That's correct.
And then
6.8, exactly.
Your settlement.
Let's see, now she's going to correct her and say, no, her settlement was for $7 million. Now she's going to try and say, well, 6.8. Why? Because 200,000 of it is his. Remember, we had Ed White testify that the first 100,000 to each charity was directly sent to that charity. So that's 200,000. So then she's going to correct her. Well, 6.8, you know, well, yeah, because you got mad when they started sending it to your charities, and stop that shit.
Amount was $7 million.
That's correct.
And then you released a statement in which you claimed you would be donating the entire $7 million to charity, right?
That's correct.
You stated you would be donating half of the $7 million to the ACLU.
That's correct.
And you would be donating the other half to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
That is correct.
And you also stated, with respect to the $7 million divorce settlement, that money played no role except for the extent that you could donate the money to charity.
Yes, that's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1259. This is an article entitled Amber Heard Donates Johnny Depp Divorce Settlement to Charity. Read her statement in full. Is that correct?
That's what the title says, yes.
Directing your attention to the portion on the second page where it says, quote, read the statement below. Is that the statement you released, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit the statement and the article as redacted.
Objection, hearsay.
It's her statement.
This is not.
So what she just tried to, look what her attorneys try to do and say, she just testified, this was her statement. Her attorneys object and say hearsay, and they have to be schooled in the fact that she just testified it was her statement.
Objection, hearsay.
It's her statement.
This is not her statement. This is some.
She just testified, Your Honor, that it's her statement.
May I see the full?
Everything else is redacted.
Okay, then I have no objection.
All right, 1259 in evidence as redacted.
The statement reads, as described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity, and in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves. As reported in the media, the amount received in the divorce was $7 million, and $7 million is being donated. This is over and above any funds that I have given away in the past and will continue to give away in the future. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct. I don't remember that last line, but I have no, it doesn't stand out to me as wrong.
There's nothing inaccurate in the statement.
Not that I recognize, no.
Mr. Depp donated $100,000 of the divorce settlement directly to the ACLU. Is that right?
Right at the beginning of the divorce settlement, he donated $100,000 to each charity on my behalf or towards my contribution.
So $100,000
To each.
To the ACLU.
And to the Children's Hospital.
And in response, you publicly demanded that Mr. Depp pay the divorce settlement directly to you instead of the charities, right?
That was always the agreement, actually, is for him to pay me directly. It was not his money as per the settlement agreement to give away and reap a tax benefit from. I said if he wants to do it and give to charity all of a sudden, then he should pay.
Isn't that funny? She brings up about the taxes right now. Remember what Ed White testified to? What she actually wanted in the divorce is a lot more than the $7 million everybody's been flying around in the media with. That she wanted him to have to pay all their liabilities that they'd accrued during their marriage, which was the equivalent of almost $14 million, and that she wanted him to do it free of taxes on her end, meaning he would have to make like $30 million to pay that much, and now she's going to bring up taxes again. She's a vindictive bitch. She's literally saying that she didn't want him paying it because it could help him with like a tax write-off or whatever. I mean, think about that shit.
The correct amount and not try to get a big tax break for it. So effectively for his tax bracket, he should be paying double that amount to the charity directly. And if he wanted to pay the charity directly, he could do that, was fine with me, but he would need to pay the adjusted amount.
Ultimately, the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement was paid directly to you, right?
Over time, yes.
And Mr. Depp didn't end up paying the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement directly to the charities you identified.
That is correct. He paid the installments to me.
You stopped that from happening, didn't you?
I don't understand what your question is. I'm sorry.
You stopped Mr. Depp from paying the charities that you had named directly.
That is incorrect. I said if you want to pay the charities directly, pay the adjusted amount, or pay as per our agreement in the settlement or in the divorce, as per our agreement.
You also
And
publicly...
he chose to do the former, not the latter. I mean, the other way around.
You also publicly stated that the $7 million divorce settlement should be paid to the charities immediately in full, right?
If he wanted to pay it in the way that he was suggesting, yes.
And you said publicly that the payments to the charities should not be drawn out over many years, right?
I said that I don't recall the exact words that I used, but basically that he shouldn't use this as a novel interest in getting a tax break. That if he wanted to do that and not pay me the settlement, that was fine, but he would have to pay the adjusted amount and not make it, a commitment he would not fulfill or try to avoid in some other way.
And that's because you wanted the entire world to think that you were donating every penny of the $7 million divorce settlement as soon as you received it from Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
No, I was going to be receiving it in installments, and I would be paying in installments the donations.
In fact, you released a statement in response to Mr. Depp's $100,000 donations to the ACLU and CHLA, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Let's see if we can refresh your recollection. If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1260. This is an article entitled Amber Heard and Johnny Depp Row Over Divorce Donations. And if I could direct your attention to where it says, I believe it's on the second page, her spokeswoman responded in a statement. The language that follows the statement you released.
Objection, hearsay, spokeswoman, it's not her.
A spokesperson is an exception, Your Honor.
You want to come forward?
Well, spokesperson is, and he's just smiling. We're like, well, you know what I mean? Like, this is what the world knows. The world knows.
Oh, really?
You released a statement
May
through.
we approach again?
Okay.
Wow. They do not like this.
Before we ask the next question, I'll just hand you a copy of this one.
I want to see it before you ask.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's exactly what I said.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
But I don't have the unredacted to be able to. Your Honor, they gave me a redacted, but I don't have the unredacted to be able to see the full
I
document.
plan to admit it or ask that it be admitted in redacted form. I'm taking away any hearsay, and I'm just trying to lay the foundation that this is a statement she released through a spokesperson.
How would I know whether there's more to it that shouldn't be redacted, Your Honor, if I don't see the full document?
Now they're going to go find the damn whole thing for her.
Pull it up on our computer.
Be able to see the document.
All right. Do you have a document that's not redacted?
I can.
Then they're going to do this. They're going to say they took it over to Cat Lady. Said, "Here you go. Here it is."
You can get a copy of that
Happily.
later
Yes.
today. Okay.
Right,
All right.
I mean, I think she should be giving us copies of the full.
Well, I
thing
understand, but
before.
we'll take care of that. But
Okay.
as of right now, can we continue?
So
We can, Your Honor, but I have an
unlikable.
objection because of,
She's so unlikable because she acts like that.
Right now, can we continue?
we can, Your Honor, but I have an objection because of, there's some quotation marks missing.
Okay, come forward.
Oh, you can tell she's getting on their nerves. They're getting on their nerves. They're almost done.
Lay a
Is this-
foundation.
She has to show it.
Responded in a statement. Directing your attention, Ms. Heard,
Go.
where it says her spokeswoman responded in a statement.
Your
The
Honor-
language that follows.
Your Honor, again, she can't read it. She has to show it
The
to her.
language that follows.
Right. If you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that. Go ahead.
You released a statement after Mr. Depp donated $100,000 to the ACLU and $100,000 to CHLA. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And the language that follows is the statement you released in response to Mr. Depp's donations, right?
I don't know if this is the official statement. I have no idea.
The statement that starts at
Objection, Your Honor.
Amber Heard. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Would you please read that to yourself, Ms. Hurd?
Let's look how long it's taken.
Statement you released through your...
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. That's a statement you released through your spokeswoman after Mr. Depp made the donations to the CHLA and the ACLU. Correct, Ms. Hurd?
I do not recall exactly what my statement was. I don't disagree with anything in the statement, but I just simply don't recall what the statement was we released.
Is there anything inaccurate in that statement, Ms. Hurd?
No.
Okay. I'm going to move to admit.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection, 12-1260 in evidence over objection.
They're
Thank you.
trying to keep this out.
Statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news. And it continues. However, if Johnny wishes to change the settlement agreement, we must insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber. And it continues.
Now, see, what you need to remember here is, again, what Ed White testified to what she wanted from him in the divorce, and I guarantee you they probably bring this up, is right here. It highlights that he would have to donate 14 million, which after accounting for tax deduction is an equal to 7 million payment obligation. So basically what she got him for, what Amber Heard, who's walked around here, oh, I just wanted 7 million for the kids. What actually she wanted was the equivalent of 14 million, which means Johnny Depp would have had to made it 30 million in order to pay her that much. Because again, I don't care what society tries to walk around human dresses that say tax the rich. None of you would want to pay the taxes. If you came from Podunk, Tennessee, and you were worth $0 and you decided to start a business that blew up, and you had the next Amazon, and you're sitting there on your own private 70-something foot yacht, but you did it all on your own, you became a millionaire because you worked your ass off. I don't care who you are. I would be a little butt hurt if I felt like the damn government then turned around and told me I'm gonna have to give them 50% of my income. Okay, especially knowing here, especially in America, knowing how the government doesn't know how to buy a toilet paper roll, much less know how to tell you how to spend your damn money. You made $10 million, you got to give the government $5 million so they can turn around and decide how they want to fucking spend it. Yeah, no thanks.
We would also insist that the full amount be paid immediately and not drawn out over many years. Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Thank you. After this, you kept commenting about the donation of your divorce settlement, right?
They're bringing this up because, again, remember, so she's making all these statements about how Johnny Depp should have paid it. If he was going to do it, he needed to pay it all in full. It should be made in payments. And she's talking to the woman right now that's went out, what she's about to highlight, did all these press tours about how she donated all her money. You knew, oh my God, was the next Princess Diana. She's just so lovely. She's a giver. She loves the chillins. But come to find out, this mofo ain't even donated shit. Okay, got Elon to donate $500,000. I think they tagged her at what, 350,000, because there's another $350,000 donation that came from one of those like Fidelity did from Elon. Another one kind of like those, we don't really know who donated the money kind of situations. The only thing they can really peg her with is 350,000 out of 7 million. Nah. What about the money, y'all? What about the money?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. You spoke about donating your divorce settlement on a Danish TV show. correct?
Here it comes.
I believe I said I had, I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just.
She does not understand that she's got the shovel in her hand, okay, and she is digging the damn hole herself. What she's highlighting here is that she went on this, what they're trying to prove, Johnny Depp's side, is that she went and did this interview and told the interviewer that she already donated the money that she already had. And they're going to trying to peg her on that. They don't even have to bother, because right there, what she just said is that she'd already released that statement to the media. She'd already told the media that she had donated the money. Remember, she ain't donated the money. And then she tries to act like, well, it's because Johnny Depp was suing me. I couldn't afford to. He was suing me. Remember, he fulfilled his obligation of the $7 million in the beginning of 2018, February 2018. He didn't sue her until 2019, like January 2019. So this woman had almost a flipping year that she had already had all that money in the bank and didn't give it to these two charities.
On and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You appeared on a show called RTL Late Night, right?
I don't recall what show it was.
If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 346, which is a portion of your appearance on this program. And we would ask that it be moved into evidence and ask for
any
permission
objection?
to publish it.
It contains, has hearsay, it contains other communications with other individuals.
Your Honor, if we may approach
Okay.
very briefly.
And I don't know what they're about to prove here, but they got this into evidence. So this should scare the shit out of it. Her side was like, oh yeah, no, you don't never. They get it in. We're gonna fast forward. I want this to be forever long.
Or 6. So if we could please play and publish to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 346.
346 in evidence. Good.
And actually were all kinds of accusations flying your way when you said all this, and then there was a divorce settlement. You got $7 million. People were saying this is all about the money, but then you did something that twisted that whole argument. What did you do with that money?
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the AC.
Was donated. And remember how he phrased this is, what did you do with that money? Past tense. What did you do? Like past tense. Well, so what have you already done? And she said it was donated. That's
$7
not it's going to be. I've pledged it. She says
$1 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States.
Yeah.
It's called the American
Right.
Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
Well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never heard
I wanted
of.
nothing.
yeah. I wanted nothing.
This interview was in October of 2018, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't recall.
Now remember, okay, so keep up. This interview, I'm going to guarantee you his side has got the dates. October 2018, she gave that interview saying it was donated. She's already donated it. He finished paying her. She was paid off February of that year. So it was March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 8 months before that interview, she'd been paid all of the $7 million 8 months prior. So she goes on this TV thing and says, oh, I've donated all the money. Now she's trying to claim that she didn't donate it because he sued her. He didn't sue her until 3 months after that interview, when she wrote that, after she wrote that op-ed.
All it was.
It was in 2018, right, Ms. Hurd?
I don't remember when this was done.
This was after you had received the full $7 million of your divorce settlement for Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
Yep.
Again, without knowing when it was recorded, I have no idea.
The $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
Let's take a look at Defendants Exhibit 1458, which is already in evidence. This is the deal point memorandum from your divorce settlement, right, Ms. Hurd?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
And if we go down to the bottom of page 4, there's a heading labeled equalization payment. Do you see that?
Yes.
And underneath that, it outlines a payment schedule for the divorce payments, correct?
Yes.
Or it begins to. And if we go on page 5, so the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016, and that's
Now he paid her. Their last payment was in February 2018. See, and he paid it. Ed White testified this. She was paid.
$200,000, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made that payment directly.
You got to turn on your microphone, Ms. Berderhoff. I'm not going to hear you.
Objection to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to. That.
Okay.
It's he literally testified to it in court.
I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made the payment directly to the ACLU and CHLA, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And then the rest of the payments were all made to you, weren't they?
That is correct.
And the final payment of $2.3 million is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to.
I'll
It's an
overrule the
improper.
objection. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule, right?
I don't believe they were. He might have
That's
testified
not my
to
question, Ms. Hurd. My question was, you were here in court when Mr. White testified under oath that all the payments were made on schedule.
I was here every day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay. So back to October of 2018, this was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would
That-
agree with me?
That is correct.
Okay. And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp.
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote, right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
What? What?
Sitting here today, Ms. Hurd, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms. Hurd,
settlement,
that's-
$7 million.
Oh, hell no. She's trying to what? She's trying to conflate the word pledged with I'm sorry, y'all, but you don't come over to my house and buy a car off me and then drive away in the car and yell out the window, I pledge I'll pay you sometime. No, but you're gonna give me the money right now. That's what you mean by gave the money, donated the money, done been paid. Pledge? I don't know if people in California are sniffing too much pledge, but that ain't the same damn thing.
That's not my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Hurd,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Hurd,
those obligations.
Ms. Hurd.
Holy hell.
That's not my question. Please
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question.
Look at her face. Holy hell. I need to piss her off. Look at zoom. Look at this.
Ms. Hurd, that's not my question. Please
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Hurd,
They don't mean the same thing. Pledging something to somebody does not mean the same thing as the cold hard cash.
I don't use it.
Synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Hurd,
They don't mean the same. Oh my God, have mercy. Help us all. Help us all. I broke my leg. I pledged to break my leg. It's the same thing.
I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Hurd, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today,
See how she slid that up? Johnny sued me. Johnny didn't sue her until a year after she'd done been given all that money. You can't use that as an excuse. This is what's wrong with her. This is what's wrong with her and everything she says. She does not make any sense, but in her own mind, I think I don't even think she makes sense in her own mind. I just think she's so used to, she's a spoiled rot damn ass brat that she's used to doing this shit to people. And then them looking at her like crazy eyes, like she don't make no sense. And she goes, oh, suck a dick. Oh, I forget everything you said. You're right, Amber. You're right.
you have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
What do you mean she didn't get anything? Are we forgetting about the other, whatever, 13 something $million she had to pay and all the bills they accrued? Do you really think Johnny Depp wasn't drinking the 2 bottles of $500 bottle of wine, Spanish wine shit a day? That was her. That's $1,000 a day wine habit that he had to pay off. He wasn't the one drinking all the wine. So you know, it's just not just dismiss that. That's a little bill. You know, he had to pay all that shit. Remember what she testified in the beginning, how Miss Independent. I was independent before we got married, and I stayed independent while we got married, except for all the bills. You know, I mean, if we were to squabble over the bill part, yeah, then maybe he paid every bill, whatever. But I'm still independent. You know what I mean? You know, I bought my own gas, and the car that, you know, that he took and got all the work done to, you know what I mean? I put the gas in the car. I bought that dog some treats.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
That's incorrect.
You wanted good press
Yeah, number one, she did want the praise for donating the money.
for donating the money, right?
That's incorrect.
You wanted good press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name. And at the time, I was being called a liar and my motives were being questioned. I did see it as important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
Now remember, she's asked her about the donations, and look at what she just ran off into. I was called a liar and all this other shit. And I wanted to clear my name. Well, you're not doing a too good of a job of it now that we've gotten all these years under our belt, and you still haven't donated all that money you did all these press junkets to claim that you're save the children, and you still haven't donated that damn money. But you sure did run out there and give every interview to say that you are Miss Independent and donated it all. You were a liar. You didn't do it. What the hell do you think that does to any bit of credibility you've had in this trial? It's laying over with the turd you left in the sheets.
You wanted to remind everyone of your claims of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
She wanted to move on with her life. She just wrote an op-ed piece in the fucking Washington Post.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, you wanted to be seen, excuse me, as a noble victim of domestic violence,
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim.
Domestic violence.
I have
You want that trigger word? Victim. Oh, I've never been said a victim. I just told everybody, everything, every other word but that.
never wanted to be seen as a victim.
Ooh, look
Nor
at
have
that.
I ever called myself one.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No.
Here we go again.
Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after. You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
All right.
No.
Better.
Ms. Hurt,
I
this is
did it.
really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection and we'll just move forward.
Thank you.
Let's move forward. Next question.
So she's already, see, their cat lady's over arguing from her damn table, and it's so horrible.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Heard?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement.
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Heard,
entire
Ms.
house
Heard,
at one
respectfully,
time. You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Heard.
All right. Next question, please.
Thank you. That statement isn't true today, as you sit here today, is it?
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But
to
you didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no,
obligations.
right, Ms. Heard?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges because I've been sued.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities.
That's the best way to put it right there. You had all that money for 13 months and you didn't donate it.
You pledged it to. Is that correct,
I
Ms. Heard?
disagree with your characterization of that.
Let's look at your sworn testimony.
But look at Chu's face right there when she says the characterization. Look at Ben Chu's face. Watch. Right here. Look at his face.
Let's look at your sworn testimony from the UK.
He's like, Jesus, this is crazy, land. Holy shit at the
All right, yes,
sun.
ma'am. Thank you.
I mean, if that ain't God talking to you, we done lit her up with the daggum sun. Like, whoa. Wow. I've never seen the cat lady get shrouded in sunlight. Have you?
Ms.
Well,
Vasquez, do you want me to close the shades?
That would be
Okay.
Oh shit. Look at her. I've been watching every day of this trial. I have never seen somebody be like, look, glowing like that in the sun. The judge has said, you want us to shut the shades. That's hilarious.
Ms. Vasquez, do you want me to close the shades?
That would be
Okay. There's this light coming across. And,
So I appreciate that.
Has to be a
It's
little
probably good
uncomfortable.
light. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right.
Wow.
This is your third witness
know.
statement that you submitted in the UK action, right, Ms. Hurd?
Correct.
And this statement was made under oath, true?
That is true.
I'm directing your attention to the last page of that statement. That's your signature, right?
Yes, it is.
So you made the sworn statement on February 26, 2020.
That's correct.
And directing your attention to paragraph 4.
Uh-oh.
It says, quote, I remained financially independent from him the whole time we were together, and the entire amount of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
The him you were referring to is Mr. Depp.
That is correct.
She didn't do it.
Most of the money that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
Well, at least $500,000 that was donated to the ACLU in your name wasn't paid by you, right?
I believe Elon made a donation in my honor on one of the years.
Yeah, and it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement, right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
And at least $500,000 that was donated to the children.
Which I don't know why. I hope they hammered down on her about this, because I caught this earlier too. When she just said it didn't go towards my pledge. We had the ACLU guy testify in court that it was put towards her pledge. We have that testimony. He testified that it went towards her pledge. So she just again lied up on the stand. It did go towards her pledge.
Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
Right, those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000 payments came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
I don't know if he was a new boyfriend at the time.
We got
You got him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities, didn't you?
Incorrect.
Because you wanted to keep at least some of the $7 million divorce settlement for yourself, right?
You're very wrong about that.
I think this, if Your Honor is
Okay,
fine,
you said
this is a good
it's
stopping
breaking
point.
point. Okay, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop here for the evening. Remember tonight, do not do any outside research and do not discuss the case with anybody. I know these days are a little longer, and I appreciate your patience and you're taking care of everything here. Please take care of yourself tonight, okay? And we'll see you in the morning at 9 a.m.
I wonder if she's gonna act like she's scared to death when she leaves the stand this time. Any of y'all saw that? That was hilarious. Where she acted like, "Oh my God, I can't be around. He's coming near me." And remember, she's the one that wanted to have the secret meeting with him, that she had the agent set up. But now, 6 years later, the sight of him, sends shivers down her spine. That is just, I don't even know how you even. I don't know. That's crazy. But yeah, okay. Well, that was interesting. I think that we've just seen the beginning of this. I think that Vasquez is going to rip her a new one, because she just can't keep track of all of her bullshit. I mean, we have seen this time and time again. If you know any liars, it's so hard to keep track of all the crap you have said. You will fumble. Now, what's interesting to me too is that, again, Johnny Depp has won the hearts and minds of the people. Like, watch right here what happens when he does this in court. Look at all these hands go up. Okay, on the left, look at all these people waving, their arm up here, arms up all over here. Everybody in this damn courtroom is waving at Johnny Depp. You have a couple people, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she got a new PR team. But look at this. Hands, hand over here. All these people are waving at his ass. Look at them. The court of public opinion has spoken, and I'm so proud of women, as being a woman myself. I'm so proud of us women that are out there that are showcasing that we can call out another woman when we know she's full of shit. And what I hope is that whether or not it's Johnny Depp or John Boy down the damn road, that we'll start encouraging men to start telling their stories, because I think they feel embarrassed by them or feel like nobody will listen to them. And so I hope that men do feel encouraged to kind of come out and highlight that this isn't a rare thing. This isn't something that's just happening to Johnny Depp. This has happened a lot. And there's women out there that put their hands on men thinking that they can play they can't put their hands on me because, they'll go to jail if they put their hands on me, but I can smack them straight across the face or punch them in the eye. And then if I call the cops are going to arrest them. It's happened time and time again. So with that, this is going to be part 2. Do you like it? Let me know down below. And thanks for hanging out with me. That was pretty interesting. I cannot wait for tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody.